Okay. So, good morning, everyone. Yesterday, we finished how to adapt with the red behavior person. So, just to summarize or just to tell in short, see, red people, they are diplomatic, they are very strong headed, confident, but it is like as a boss, they are very difficult to work with. Few things to remember when you are in the uh, proximity of red, like uh, they don't like too much of detailing of anything. They are goal focused, they focus only on the outcome, and what they want is the result. So that's how, don't waste time in giving all the details, it is very boring for them. Second thing is, you have to be very quick. They are in always urgent need, they want to finish it off. Speed matters to them most, and speed is the synonym for efficiency. That is how red perceive those who are laid back or slow, or they are one minute. They don't respond easily, so they become boring for them, and they are not efficient people in the eyes of red person. Third thing is, yes, they calculate risk, and those who are informing them about the risk factor, they are very anxious to know about, and they are risk taking people actually. So they really pay attention to the risk detailing. Otherwise, you don't have to get into the details. Just talk to them. Just do as they say, and focus on the goal. Third thing, most important thing is, they don't work in relationship building. They are not friendly as the yellows are or the greens are. They like blues or like red, they have their own personality, where relationship comes secondary and the work comes first. One more thing, also read one more chapter which says that alcohol also changes the personality, but you don't know how. We don't know, but many times when intoxicated, or in the when they are drunk, or this alcohol na, they sometimes yellow person becomes silent, or the red person becomes more talkative. So it goes hayway. No one knows how the alcohol changes the personality, but once the alcohol effect is gone, everyone becomes normal, the order is restored. So these things we read yesterday. Let's continue with the further reading. And now today we would be reading with the adapting to yellow behavior. So who wants to read? I'll just start, and then someone would take the could follow. Just write your names in the chat box. Okay, so I'll start. Adapting to yellow behavior, page number 130. What a yellow expects of you. Isn't it nice being here all together? In essence, yellows are not afraid of conflict. If something goes wrong, they can really blow a gasket, but if possible, they prefer a pleasant and cozy atmosphere. Yellows are at their best when everyone is being friendly and the sun is shining. A yellow, however, can be very sensitive to whether people are in good spirits or not. If the people in a group are in bad spirits and aggression is pouring down like from a cloudburst, he won't be happy at all. Conclusion: a yellow functions best when he is happy and content. His creativity is at its zenith and all his positive energy flows. You should strive to create a warm and friendly atmosphere around him. Smile a lot, have fun and laugh, listen to his crazy jokes, laugh along at all his childish remarks, and kindle the easygoing and happy go lucky atmosphere. If you do that, he will feel better about you and listen to you more, which is always a good thing. A yellow in a bad mood is not much fun to be with. I asked someone to fix that tiny detail. I can't remember who though. Keeping a yellow's interest is, in all honesty, not the easiest thing to do. There are many things that bore the socks off a yellow employee, customer, friend, or neighbor. A foolproof method to put a yellow to sleep quickly and efficiently is to bring up lots of details. Don't do that. A yellow simply can't cope with details. It just gets boring. Not only will he forget what you are talking about, but he will also simply think that he doesn't need any of those details. His strength lies in the broad brush strokes. You can easily ask a yellow to draw up a vision for the next 10 years, but don't ask him to explain how to make it happen. Conclusion: if you want to keep a yellow's attention, strip away as much of the minutiae as you possibly can. Always start with the big questions. It's perfectly fine that you know how to install the latest surround sound system, but don't tire your yellow friend with it. It's not for him. He just wants to know how to get the music started. It's just like with reds, if not worse. Yellows don't care about how things work, only that they work. So put away the instruction manual, they'll never open it. Who wants to take next? Manishji, yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Good morning. Uh, Follow your gut, it works every time. If I had $1 for every time a yellow has explained a total crazy decision by saying that it felt right, I could be sleeping at the Ritz. There is a study that shows that some people make better decisions if they only go on gut feeling. Whatever you do, never mention that to your yellow friend or you will never hear the end of it. It must feel right. A yellow can readily ignore the actual facts so long as it feels right. Don't misunderstand this. A yellow understands perfectly well that some people look at facts and that this is important. He's not stupid. It is just that he's not interested. He wants to feel his way. Do you want to get a yellow to make a decision? Try to put the Excel. Can you scroll down? Anjali, can you scroll down, please? Okay. Where was I? Okay. Do you want to get a yellow to make a decision? Try to put the Excel spreadsheets aside. Lean forward and say with a broad smile, how does this feel? He will understand exactly and you will get an answer. Conclusion: just accept that a yellow feels his way. He has a high tolerance for uncertainty and is not overly afraid of of risk. Adapt to it. You can get through to him by showing him that you too follow your gut. No matter how wrong this might feel to you, this is the way to a yellow's heart. He will recognize himself in you. You will become the best of friends. The sun will shine on you. This car is a prototype, the concept completely untested. No one has ever done this before. Perfect. While a red focuses on speed, a yellow focuses on the latest and greatest. New is synonymous with good. All yellows know that. And why not? Without creativity and new inventions, all development would simply grind to a halt, right? Everyone likes having a little excitement in their everyday life. The difference lies in how we define exciting. For a yellow, new means exciting. Yellows are so called early adopters, the very first to try out new things. Check out who is wearing the latest fashion, who is the first to drive a new and preferably unusual model of car, who has the latest cell phone, and who knows what restaurant will be the newest sensation in a few months. How can they keep track of all this? Don't ask me. They probably devote some of their time at work to keep what is this? To keep AU. What is this? To keep
All
an
current. It's all current.
what this means? Occurrent? Do you know?
The track on all things.
Okay, okay. To
Yeah.
keep occurrent on all things new and interesting. But they are also early in implementing new work methods and new concepts to sell goods and services. It is just great fun. Conclusion: allow a yellow to devote himself to the latest thing. He will love it. If you want to sell something to a yellow, use expressions like state of the art, newly developed, and never before used. Your potential customer will really get into gear. No one else has ever tried this. I have to. I have to have it. He will like you because you are so exciting and so interesting and above all innovative. Equip yourself with lots of energy because it can be challenging to keep up to date. But yellows will adore you. However, be prepared to be replaced rather quickly if they find someone else who is even more knowledgeable about newer things. You seem interesting. Wanna know who I am? By now, we have established that yellows like other people. They function best if they surround themselves with a crowd. Of course, yellows don't like everyone they meet, but they will give the majority a decent chance. You need to show a yellow that you are just as open and friendly as he is. If you are way too closed and private, he will feel unwelcome. Why did not you reply when he spoke to you? Why did not you smile at the funny story about his dog? Why does not he know anything about you? What are your dreams? Insufficient personal connection can result in a strong sense of insecurity, and your relationship won't develop in a positive direction. If you are red or blue, you need to think carefully about how to get this to work. If you want to, of course. Conclusion: become approachable, demonstrate that you are available, smile a lot, be sure to have open body language. When a yellow wonders where you grew up, don't just respond with New York. Say that you lived in Chelsea and that you loved jogging along the High Line and that a pickpocket stole your wallet once while you were walking down Fifth Avenue and that you met the love of your life when she accidentally scroll down please, little down, yeah, when she accidentally dropped a plate of fries on your pants at a restaurant. It may seem a bit unnecessary, but you should definitely show interest in the yellow as a person. Admittedly, it won't be difficult to find out things about him because he will freely tell you a great deal. But be sure to show that you are curious and interested. And I remember that yellows are very susceptible to flattery. How to behave when you meet a yellow? To keep a yellow in good spirits, you need to rub him the right way. The problem will become obvious after a while. They won't get that much work done. I have looked at a group of yellows who were trying to solve a problem. They all spoke at the same time and had a great time. And when you asked them how things were going, they said, "Fantastic," but nothing got written down. To really make headway with yellows, you need to do more than just create a great atmosphere. Once you have tuned into their frequency, you need to do the following. Learn to tell whether a yellow is actually listening. I'm just going to say it like it is. Yellows are beyond the shadow of a doubt the worst listeners. Usually they will never admit it. The very expression itself of foolishness is something negative, and they will do anything to avoid negativity. Many yellows really see themselves as good listeners. Who knows where they got that idea? It is simply not true. Of course, one second. Of course, they are yellow who listen when it suits them, or when they have already gotten what they wanted out of a conversation. But in most cases, forget about it. They don't want to listen. They want to talk. Yellows simply think that they can express everything far better than anyone else. The problem is that they neglect to listen to what anyone else is saying. Conclusion: when you are dealing with yellows, there are certain things you need to do. It does not matter if you are speaking to your partner about your summer vacation or to a colleague about an ongoing project. You need you need a plan of action. You need to have prepared yourself carefully. You have to know what your message is and exactly what response you need from them. You must persuade the yellow, happy person to answer your questions very concretely, and hear him say, "Yes, I'll be there at 4 just as I promised." Or, "Of course, I will notify the customer Exactly what we have agreed to. But, big but, be prepared to follow up if it is important, because the yellow did not write any of it. Unless you manage to persuade him to write it on his calendar, of course. That would be the best way. But in all other contexts, you should expect that what you have said has gone in one ear and out the other. Yeah. Suman, you can take up. Yeah.
Yes, yes, thank you. Learn how to respond to no problem that won't take that long at all. Yellows are optimists regarding time. That is just the way it is. Sure, your work can be done quickly, but rarely as quickly as a yellow thinks. This has to do with the fact that he simply can't plan or structure his life. I have personally worked with people who legitimately believed that they could manage 8 meetings per day, who thought that it only took 2 days to renovate an entire kitchen, and that it is possible to walk across Manhattan in 20 minutes. These are typical manifestations of a yellow's optimism. The problem is obvious. It is impossible to accomplish everything a yellow wants to do, particularly because he doesn't even know how long anything takes. And even if he does ask someone how long it takes, he doesn't listen to what the person says because what he is saying is wrong. After all, the yellow believes he probably knows best. The other problem is that he won't get into gear when he should. Do you know anyone who has taken a day off to paint the bedroom and at 3 o'clock in the afternoon hasn't opened the can of the paint yet? I'll just do this first, then call so and so, then poop out for a bit. Then sometimes I wonder if the people who schedule the subways are all yellow. There is nothing nasty in this. It is just about a total inability to have a realistic sense of time and a genuine belief that this commodity is inexhaustible. I remember a dinner I went to with a few yellow friends. The pub had a policy of 90-minute reservations, which meant that if you got there 25 minutes late, there would not be the time for an appetizer or for dessert because the kitchen could not manage it in time. My partner and I arrived 15 minutes early. We both have some splashes of blue in our profile. We went to the table and sat down to wait for the others. Time passed. 40 minutes later, 25 minutes late, they arrived, joyfully joking about how they had forgotten the time. We managed to order just a main course, eat it, and quickly pay for it before the next guest wanted his table. The strange thing was that when we spoke about the incident afterwards, their recollection was that they were just a few minutes late. They had simply repressed the fact that they missed 30% of the dinner. Conclusion: coordinate all appointments properly with yellows. Synchronize your watches. Explain very clearly that the plane takes off at 8 p.m. and that if he doesn't show up by then, he will be left standing at the gate. Say it like this: if he is not in his car outside your door 2 hours before the plane takes off, you will drop down dead of a heart attack. Tell the yellow that you will be deeply irritated with him and that your friendship could be damaged due to his continual slip ups. If the dinner is due to start at 7 p.m., invite everyone for that time, but make it 6:30 for your yellow friends. They will arrive last anyway. They will come with very well worded excuses. Be prepared for very colorful stories, but also know that yellows will emphatically deny that they are optimists regarding time. They will insist that they most certainly kept an eye on the clock. It was just that something happened on the way. It looks like a hand grenade went off in here. The most cluttered desks I have ever seen have all belonged to yellows. Computer screens with so many post-it notes stuck to them that you can barely see the screen. The most topsy-turvy garages and the most overloaded attics belong to yellows as well. But this is only the visible. Ask to look at a yellow person's calendar or handbag. Don't even think about looking in a yellow's closet. And this is still only the purely physical. Meetings are moved or forgotten. Things disappear. Whole cars are lost in parking lots. Keys are gone without a trace. Furthermore, many yellows have no ability to plan their day. They can go to the supermarket 5 times in a row and buy 3 things at a time because they didn't write down what they needed. This can be because they don't know what they want until they get there, or because they are sure that they will be able to recall the 19 things they need to buy. Yellows have a very generous view of their own ability. They will tell anyone who wants to listen that they have the best memory in the world. Conclusion: if you really want to help a yellow get organized, make sure he gets at least some structure in his life. Help out by creating a simple list. If you are going shopping, write down everything yourself. Your partner or pal will forget half of the items. Create a structure for him. Yellows are the ones who are most in need of structure in the form of diagrams and checklists. Paradoxically, they hate all of that. They won't let themselves be shoehorned into a system not of their own choosing. Be diplomatic. If you press too hard, you can get some powerful reactions. Why does everything have to be micromanaged? Are we living in a fascist state or what? Remember that for yellows, the most important thing is to look good all the time. Me, me, me. Yellows have strong egos, just like reds. No doubt about that. They like getting attention. They throw themselves into the center of the things faster than anyone else. They enjoy themselves the most when they are in the middle of where the action is. Your yellow friend is a ray of sunshine, talking louder and faster than anyone else and lighting up a room with his behavior. Shine all the spotlight on me. See me, hear me, like me. But this means that no one else gets any space. Many conversations end up with the yellow individual loudly and resonantly speaking about his experience or his opinion. No matter what you are talking about: war, starvation, dieting, cars, executives, gardens, a yellow will bring up a story in which he himself is the protagonist. If he doesn't have any story, he will make one up. Their thoughts often begin with the word I want, I think, I can, I know, I will. It is quite natural. They like other people, but there is one thing they like even more: themselves. Conclusion: yellows need to understand that there are other people in the room or working on the project besides themselves. You can never allow yellows to consume all the oxygen. They need to hear from someone with courage and perseverance that they have to let others enter the conversation or whatever it may be. It is impossible to explain this in the midst of a conversation with others present. It won't fall on fertile ground. A yellow can be very offended by such criticism. He will think things like, everyone else just thinks of themselves, or I am the only one who looks out for me. This type of feedback must be given discreetly and in a positive way. It depends a little bit on how the yellow person in question is. So, you will probably need a plan. Be prepared for one thing. You may very well become enemies in the process. You are definitely taking a risk here. Hearing that you are egocentric and self centered is extremely unflattering. Yellows will understand this. They are not stupid, but they will just think that your analysis is wrong. So you will have to work a lot here or swap paths. All talk but no walk. I might as well get straight to the point here to avoid confusion. Yellows talk more than they work. They have a penchant for talking about everything they need to do rather than actually doing anything. Everyone who knows a genuine yellow knows exactly what I am talking about. Okay, so many people have trouble getting motivated to work, especially with boring tasks, but yellows find it particularly hard to leave the starting block when faced with uncomfortable tasks. It may be about having to call a dissatisfied customer or getting an oil change or going to the pharmacy. If it is dull and uninspiring, it won't happen. Their excuses for avoiding these tasks will be numerous and imaginative because a yellow's perspective on time is based in the future. They spend more time talking about the future than dedicating their energy to getting there. Seldom have so many crazy plans been drawn up or so many insane goals set as is done by yellows. Because they think aloud, people around them believe that these fantasies are going to happen. Wow, it sounds amazing. Conclusion. To help your yellow friend, you need to make sure that he puts his shovel in the ground and starts digging. Push him, but push gently. Treat him like treat him a little bit like you would treat a child. Be kind but clear. If he notices that you are becoming his taskmaster, things may become difficult. Yellows hate feeling controlled. They need the most help to get into gear. But that doesn't mean they like it. They are free souls and don't obey anyone else. So you need to be diplomatic, softly and gently explain the value of actually doing the job itself now that he knows what needs to be done. Take Take a moment to explain to a yellow how the great popularity he already enjoys can actually be increased even further if he just happens to get finished. Everyone will love him and he will be more beloved than ever. Does that sound simple? It is simple. All you need to do is overcome your resistance to inflating someone's ego in such an obvious way, but it will work. Realize that yellows may see your lips moving but not hear anything you are saying. This could very well be a subtitle to a section on bad listeners because these things are connected to each other. All of us make mistakes and no one is perfect. This is obvious to everyone, even to a yellow. In hypothetical discussions, yellows can agree that other people really need to get a grip, sort things out, and do better. They can even admit that there are no perfect people. So far, no problems. The problems arise when we try to make a particular yellow understand that he may need to improve. This creates a conflict, especially if the criticism is expressed in public. Yellow people find it difficult to cope with criticism. They don't like it because it doesn't make them look good. Imagine there is someone who doesn't like everything they do and everything they say. I have individually sat down with yellows and given them personal feedback on their profiles. Everything goes fine until we get to the page with the heading Areas of Improvement, which is to say, weakness. Even if we are on good terms, the temperature in the room gets significantly cooler. Defensive walls pop up quicker than you can say poor self awareness. Deep down, the yellow individual knows that he has weakness. He just can't consider talking about them. Conclusion. If you wish to get through to a yellow with negative feedback, you need to be persistent. Create a friendly atmosphere in the room and find the right tone so that your criticism lands where it should. You can always slam your fist on the table as hard as you can to really shake him up. Lay down the cold, hard truth and give it to him straight. I don't recommend this. Better to work slowly and consistently, repeating the same feedback until he understands. Clarity is key. Make sure to be extremely well prepared with all possible facts to substantiate your claims. Yellows are clever manipulators. If he senses that you are not serious in your criticism and that you won't follow up, he will lure you off track. He is good at smoke screens. Make sure you don't get lost in the fog. Get real answers to your questions and be sure that he understands the message. Insist that he writes down what you have said. Ask him to repeat your feedback. You also need to set up a plan of action, but save that for the next meeting. Right now, you have probably gotten as far as you can with a yellow. You will just exhaust yourself if you keep going. One more thing, this doesn't happen with positive feedback, then the yellow will jump on the bandwagon quicker than you can imagine.
Mm. Does anyone else want to read? It's the new topic, adapting to green behavior.
Yeah, if anyone else want, otherwise I'll
No one-
continue, no problem.
Yes, I would go ahead.
Yeah, please, please.
1 second. Adapting to green behavior. What a green expects you. Everything should feel good all the time. Security will always be important to a green. A green worries about everything that may happen. He doesn't like insecurity and solves it by hiding under the covers. If you don't see it, then it is not there. He doesn't want to be anywhere if it's too insecure. He strives for stability and doesn't even want to think about wild gambles. You may be thinking the world is a dangerous place to live. There is an infinite number of dangers out there. Absolutely anything. He doesn't want, yeah. You may be, yeah, absolutely anything can go wrong. My relationship, just a moment. Yeah, absolutely anything can go wrong. My relationship may fall apart. I might get sick. My husband or wife could leave me. My children might think I am an idiot. I can lose my job. My boss may start agreeing with my children. I could end up in conflict with a lot of people. On the way to work, I could have a car accident. A person can die from a tiny fish bone caught in his throat. All these things make life scary. Anything can happen. Many greens I have known over the years in my role as a coach have said that all these potential dangers paralyze them. They become overwhelmed with thoughts about these risks and dangers. They become completely powerless to act. And since they are not particularly motivated to go out in the world, it becomes easier to just stay at home, nice and safe at home by the hearth. It wasn't Greens. Oh my God, you're scrolling so fast. Yeah, it wasn't Greens who left their homes and immigrated to America. They would never have gotten on that boat because who knows how the trip would go. And if you survived the voyage itself, who could really say what you would find when you get there? Those stories about all those people who achieved success and wealth could well be humbug from start to finish. And if you did get a job and if you did find somewhere to live, who knows if you would be happy? Imagine if you end up even more miserable than you were at home. You know what you have, but you have no idea at all what you will get. Conclusion. Accept that this person This person doesn't think like you do. Accept that he is driven just as much by fear as by anything else, perhaps even more. Show that you are prepared to listen to what he is anxious about. Don't say things like there is nothing to be afraid of. It doesn't work because the fear itself is real and it's also not true. There are many legitimate things to be afraid of. We all have things we are anxious about. A green just has more of them. Instead, help your green friend to face his fear of the unknown. Encourage him to brave things that feel scary and still move ahead. Just as we learned to swim as children, despite the fact that the water looked cold and dangerous, you can give support through small, gentle nudges forward. When your friend says that the grass only looks greener on the other side, simply take a breath and keep at it. Nothing happened twice. I'm sure you recall that I mentioned the green's passivity. Nothing is too big to be ignored. Being proactive and driven, have an active lifestyle. All these things disturb tranquility and it won't be appreciated. He won't be happy if you're constantly coming up with new things to do. Greens feel better when they don't have to be active. They come home on a Friday evening so completely exhausted from spending the week trying to accomplish as little as possible that they now need to take a good rest. I have met Greens whose efforts to avoid work cost them more energy than actually doing the work. The consequences are obvious to those around them. They don't like weekends with full schedules, visiting the mother in law, organizing a picnic, taking his son to soccer, cleaning out the garage, inviting the neighbors over for dinner. Everything becomes a burden for him, and half the time, nothing gets done at all. A green glides under the radar and disappears completely. He needs peace and quiet to be able to do what he does best. Peace and quiet make him feel safe and content. Conclusion. It's important to respect this on one level. We need to put ourselves in other people's shoes, knowing how stressful it can be for them to be constantly on the go. In today's society, it's not possible to avoid all the bustle and activity. It means that a genuine green often feels that he's doing something wrong. He hears about everyone else's weekends, their activities, how they have completed one complicated project after the other. For a green, that just sounds exhausting. The solution is to allow the green his periods of peace, quiet, and inactivity. He needs to function like that. This doesn't mean, of course, that he can sit on his butt his whole life, but he doesn't need to be allowed to do a reasonable amount of nothing. Where are we going? I think I will sit this one out. Stability and predictability are valuable to a green. And when you think about it, it's very logical. It's a good thing knowing what's going to happen. We probably all have some measure of control dependency. We simply want to know. For greens, this dependency is very strong. When reds ask what, yellows wonder who. When blues ask why, greens want to know how. A green simply needs to know what the plan is, what needs to happen, when will things be taking place, what should we expect. Just look at how it works at home. Who always has the same spot at the breakfast table? I know that many of us are creatures of habit, but if you snitch a greens since a long time ago claimed chair, you unhinge his very existence and he won't be able to get his food down. But their need for predictability goes further than that. It's about anything that even resembles change. In our society today, the only thing that's permanent is change. Nothing is totally predictable. Everything rotates on its own axis and appears in new shapes and forms. And all of this is extremely stressful for greens. Conclusion. Since a green won't come up with anything on his own, it will be you and I who will have to handle the planning. But maybe that's okay. We can help ease Green's mind by explaining every step of the plan. Instead of just saying that I have invited guests over the weekend, I could explain that we will be having John and Mary over for dinner, and we will be offering a three-course dinner consisting of an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert. I will fix the main course while my green partner should make the dessert and should follow this recipe. I explain who is doing what, who will buy the wine, and who will buy the flowers, and so on. I might even explain which day my green partner has to do the shopping. And who knows, maybe I will write down the address of the flower shop with a list of exact instructions about what should be purchased. Does this sound exaggerated? Not at all. Remember, Greens are not world champions at taking their own initiative. Thinking of your family as a company, everyone doesn't do the same things because we are good at different things. If you are better at taking the initiative, do it. But make sure that your green partner is on board. Otherwise, there is a risk that he will run out the back door. How to behave when you meet a green. Is anyone ready to read or should I go ahead?
1 minute, I'll check how long. It's already 46 now. Okay, we can finish this. Pranavi, please continue. Or
Yes,
anyone else is interested?
I'm okay with anything.
Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, Rajesh ji, welcome, welcome. Good morning.
Oh, thank you so much. I
Yeah.
was saying hello sometimes. I think I was not heard.
You're not audible. Where were we here? Pranavi, where were we?
Adapt. How do you greet a green person? I mean, there is a subheading. So there we are actually. Yeah. How do
Yes, yeah. How to behave when huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Rajesh, you were saying something?
Yeah, hope I'm audible. If I'm not audible, please stop me. I will try to continue reading this.
Okay. Please go ahead.
No, I think Anjali was saying to stop now, like it's
No,
7:47.
Mansi, it's just we would be finishing this with the green. This
Oh,
is,
acha, okay.
yeah, just in
Just
2-3
two
minutes we can
pages.
finish it off. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I just missed that part. Sorry.
I think actually Rajesh's voice is audible, but I somewhere feel that the clarity is missing. I
Yeah.
mean, the
Okay, then
dispersion of
someone
the.
please continue. I would suggest someone else will continue. I don't want to.
I mean, if everyone
In
is
that way.
okay, you can go ahead, Rajesh.
No.
Not an.
So you can continue this.
Okay.
As we have already 2 pages remaining, that shouldn't take so much time to discuss into the or stopping in between. You may continue, please. I'm listening.
When you meet a green. Okay. Now you know how your green friends would like to be handled. The result will be a calm and excellent relationship, and you will be good friends for many years. Nice. Huh? But you can't stop there because unless you are a genuine green yourself, you will want to actually do something every now and then. And you will need to have some appropriate strategies to kickstart your stability loving friend. Why does everything have to be such a to do? Ugh, I'm going to bed. I have said this before, but we need to spill more ink on this issue. Greens don't like friction of any kind. They back off when a discussion heats up or if you frown at the wrong time. Everything could be a potential conflict, and this is very bad condition for all greens. They lock themselves in and become silent and passive. Many years ago, I was giving a sales conference at which I trained sellers in personal effectiveness. One of them was playing with his cell phone unremittingly, and when I nicely and gently asked him to write his text messages during the break, he completely stiffened up and stopped speaking. He did not respond to any questions or take part in any discussions. He didn't so much as lift his pen for the remainder of the day. He glared at me, and when I asked what the problem was, he just shrugged his shoulders. He gave me what is probably the worst evaluation I have ever received. Although the conference was 5 days long, it was that one day that was critical to him, and he truly cut me to shreds. He had never encountered such a rude and incompetent consultant. He felt as if I had stuck a knife in his back. Obviously, this was a completely unreasonable reaction, especially considering what we had agreed not to use our mobile phones during work sessions. But it didn't matter. This guy still thought that I had wronged him wholly and entirely, and he punished me the only way he could, through total passivity. I phoned him afterwards and confronted him about it. He admitted that it was juvenile behavior and apologized. Conclusion: if you have, just a moment, yeah, if you have a comment to make about a green's behavior, make sure you're careful about how you present it. For example, if it involves criticism, you should deliver in private. Make sure that the person you are talking to understands that you still like him, but that you believe that he and group, work team, sports team, family, association will function better if he changes certain things. Don't ask him what he can do about the behavior. Just ask him to do certain specific things. It may be that he knows what to do, but as usual, he will not lead the conversation. You will need to do that. It was better before, much better. When I'm talking about change, one of my favorite exercises is to ask everyone in the group who is afraid of change to stand up. Occasionally, someone will stand up, but it's more common that no one moves. Why? Because we all understand that change is inevitable and necessary if we are going to keep up with the world. Some people can admit that they dislike change, but this observation is only at an intellectual level. And so, we all sit quietly in our seats pretending that there are no opponents to change to be found here. And besides, no one else is standing up. After that, my second question is, who thinks that someone else in the group is afraid of change? Suddenly, the whole group stands up and they look around quite amused. So, who doesn't like change? Answer: everyone else. And because those other people are the problem, I don't need to do anything at all. The issue is widespread. The majority of the population has green as its dominant quality. This is the main reason why we can't accept change with open arms. Everything new is evil and it should be strongly discouraged. Rapid change is the most difficult to accept. The faster it is, the worse it is. So, the faster the wheels of society spin, the more frenetic all those opponents of change become. We see this all the time in new reports. Yellows and reds devise constant change. Greens and blues, who are in the majority, try to keep it up. And the stress just increases. Conclusion: if you want greens to accept change, you will have to equip yourself with a good dollop of patience. Break down the process into small pieces and set aside a few weeks to persuade, win over, and spell out the particulars. You must describe the process in detail, and since no one is going to take any notes, you will have to go through it again and again and again until the message gets home. The group must get the chance to feel its way to the only possible solution: change. Once that feeling has developed, you are home free. But the road is long and complicated. You need to know exactly where you are heading, and you need to remind yourself constantly why you're going through all this trouble. If you are red, every day you will be seized by the urge to simply force your opinion on the group. But I hardly need to explain that you might as well shut the company down if you do that. It would spare everyone involves a great deal of time and suffering. Someone needs to, yeah, should I stop here or?
1 minute, Pranavi,
Yeah,
from. Okay, only this much is there.
okay.
Yeah.
Someone needs to take the helm if we aren't going to sink to the bottom. Let's be honest, isolated from everything else, green behavior is not a distinct leadership quality, especially because oftentimes leadership is all about change. Fortunately, this doesn't mean that there are no good green bosses. There are many of them out there, but they don't grow on trees. They won't step forward in the same way as reds and yellows do. It's convenient not to have to take responsibility. I think all of us have a certain degree of laziness in us. It's liberating not to have to think, to avoid having to decide and just be a passenger. Of course, it varies depending upon the circumstances, but Greens have developed this laziness into an art form. They don't want any responsibility because, first thing, it can lead to conflict if someone doesn't agree with a decision. There may be lots of extra work, and that's never good. And so they dodge it for as long as possible. Responsibility is burdensome, requiring inner strength as well as an external drive to assume it. But at the same time, it's a measure of maturity and it begins with taking responsibility for yourself and your own life. Greens and some other colors on occasion have a tendency to blame everything and everyone but themselves. I knew a woman who had an entire list of things she could blame if something didn't go her way. She blamed the government, the opposition, taxation, her employer, the state of the market, her education, her parents, her husband, and her children. Sometimes it was the weather's fault. She blamed, oh my god, where it is? She blamed everything and everyone except herself. What did she gain from this? She didn't have to take any responsibility herself because there was always some other factor that was responsible for this and that. She never had to tackle her own problems and really change anything. I remember that I asked her to explain how it was possible that she was also not on her own list, but I suspect that she didn't understand the question. Given the monumental passivity a green person can demonstrate, we immediately end up with problems. If someone doesn't row the boat or take the helm, no amount of prayer will ever help, and greens will remain seated waiting for help. Usually, someone comes and helps out, so despite everything, they survive. Conclusion: if you want to make a just yeah if you want to make headway with large group of greens, you have to take command, get a firm hold on the steering wheel, and in some cases simply get into the driver's seat yourself. Asking a group of greens to solve a task is as much use as trying to put a brake on a canoe. They won't get started unless you put them on the track. A dog and I thought they were adults approach will not work. Sure, they are adults, but they are children when it comes to such basic things like making decisions. This is because once upon a time they made a decision not to make any decisions. So some has to put his foot down and just decide. Do it and do it now. But at the same time, do it gently. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Pranavi. It was a very long read actually, and I'm so sorry. Yeah, see, it's almost 7:59 now. Rajesh ji, what to do?
How much is left now?
See, it's
Just curious, actually.
adapting to blue behavior, then 1 minute. That's a long one.
This page, I think this is the page is 40, around 40 pages chapter
It's
157.
yeah,
You can
it's
go
a
to
big
page
step.
number 157,
Yeah, this
the
blue
last
behavior
one.
was the last one. Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
last one.
yeah.
How to behave in यहाँ से.
Yeah, because if you start something, you have to complete the particular chapter. Otherwise, leaving in the middle, it will not good. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
If
So
we are okay to go a little late, then I think we can finish it because it's Friday today. So then we
No,
can
no, I
start with
think
the new
no,
chapter on Monday.
Mansi, it's
Otherwise, yeah.
no, it will go for another 20 minutes. Around
it's
20
very
minutes.
long.
Yes, yes, it's long.
We
Yeah,
can do. We can do it on Monday.
yeah. We could have even kept the green behind. Then it would have even been okay.
I was
Yeah, no
saying
problem.
that.
Yeah.
I think around 7:40 I was saying, but I was not audible.
Yeah, no, I did not know how much is left, so I just did. I had no clue. Yeah. Achha, okay,
Anyway,
Rajesh, will you be taking notes today, or you want me to take like?
I need your help. I think here this meeting, how you did last yesterday, you should do this.
Raj,
But
I will make
but
sure. We can do
today
more.
I got disconnected in the middle in few times, so I'm not sure if I will get proper notes. That's the only issue. Like I'll try, but I'm not sure because I got disconnected 2 3 times in the middle. I saw that.
Oh,
So sometimes when you disconnect,
whatever.
I don't give you full notes before that.
Okay,
I'll try
okay.
whatever I can.
Whatever
I'll
it
take and
is,
I'll share it with you. And I think someone also
yeah, yeah, yeah.
additionally take it to make up, like if I miss out on something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Here is some.
Someone, yeah, someone
Thank you,
is saying
Anjali.
something.
Thank you, Mansi.
Yeah, we can open up a discussion. No?
So
Yeah,
yeah,
Anjali.
we can go with the discussion. Yes, anyone wants to share anything? We read about the yellow, how to adapt with yellow behavior and green behavior. So there is a little contrast, but yeah, let me hear if anyone wants to share anything.
Yeah, with the color, both colors, and green, both are completely different characters. One is that completely
Energy.
full of ideas and thoughts and energy, and the other one is completely opposite. The calm. Approaching them, handle them, and behave, connecting with them is completely different approaches we do. We cannot approach the yellow how we the same pattern we cannot approach into the green person.
Mm.
It's something. Talk to them, I think these guys, the patterns, they have a lot of. They want to explore. I think they want to explore. Focus on the big picture. I think they have a lot of creative, a lot of ideas, and they have creativity. They have. We have to appreciate them the creativity to connect with them, and so one more thing, we are going to approach the we castle about the criticism because they take this very strong. I think they take it very immediately. If you go and criticize them, oh, okay.
He is dropped. Rajesh ji, I think his call dropped. Yes. So yes, what he was saying, Rajesh ji was saying about the qualities, how like no, he's not back. Okay, so you see, yellow, they are full of energy. Little contrast, what I noticed was a little contrast where yellow is full of energy, greens are kind of laid back. And yellow, they want one thing very important contrast was that yellows, they look for new ideas and they are open for the new things. They want, but don't ask them to finish it in time. The time is a constraint. You cannot expect that yellows will finish in time. But whereas greens, they are not open to the ideas. They are not open to the change. This is something a very big contrast. And other thing, they yes, they both are into relationship building. They work towards people. They are more into they are friendly people, as in contrast to the red. They are, these two colors are very friendly, but yes, there is a contrast about the kind of working. One is full of energy, other is kind of slow and laid back and easygoing. One another difference what I remember is like yes, you cannot criticism, no, they when the yellows, they don't like to be criticized, and they take it okay, they don't like the company of those who are just pointing them out, or they would just think that they are not welcomed if the energies are not matching and energies are not positive. Whereas if a green is criticized, they would just go silent and they would take it to the heart. So only thing how to criticize or how to point out to a green is do it in private. I remember my daughter is, I feel she has the same traits of a green. And if I point it out directly, she feels offended that you are just comparing me with Didi and you are not like understanding and you want to insult me. That way, na, she gets very offended. But when I'm talking in alone, when I'm talking separately, discussing with her that, okay, these are the ways you can improve, or you can just do it in another manner, that time she understands. So this is something, yeah, they don't want to be criticized, but they want to no, yes, there is a like a place where they can improve, and that has to be done very carefully. We need to be very careful with the words. We have to be careful with the kind of language we are using, the tone that matters, because greens are very calm, very silent, and they are laid back. They don't want to change easily. So for change is very challenging, and expecting after the criticism, if we are expecting them to change, it will take a long time, and they are not open to that. So in a way, like if we want to make them do something, we have to be very careful the way we are expressing and the way we are explaining to them. That was my takeaway. Anybody else wants to share anything?
Yes, yes. Regarding yellows, I'll say that yellows don't care about how things work, but they work. And it was written that they never study the instruction manual you put before them, but still they will show that they know the best. And they are the worst listeners, though they are very social, enthusiastic. And one quality was that they are natural storytellers and want to be the protagonist, the hero. In the mid of the meetings, they will prove that we need the spotlight. And public criticism can be very devastating for them. Yes, all talk and no walk fits them. And one was that they are very disorganized. Their spaces can be felt cluttered all the time. Whereas in contrast to greens are they want to be in comfort zone. They don't want to put themselves in a minutes. What we can say that they want to. They don't want to disturb their mind at all. If we tell them the plans exactly, then they will follow the same. Yeah, that was my take of yellows and greens.
Right. Rightly said. They are full, yellows are full of energy. And as you said, the room or the place is messy where they are because they have so many ideas and they don't focus on time. They don't focus on any one particular thing. Their energy is distracted. That's how the things are also. And the
Yes.
working is also distracted. It's all scattered and distracted. So that is a synonym for yellow, I believe. But
Yeah, and
yellows,
one line
yeah.
I liked about greens was that they made a decision not to make any decisions. That was very funny.
Right. Uh-huh. They are kind of laid back and lazy type, no? They just want to relax. But they, yeah, it is on their own terms that easily they would finish off the work. They won't, they don't like pressure. They don't like any strong initiative. They just, okay, we'll finish it off on their own pace, in their own manner. Yeah, anyone else?
Yeah, and I just want to share one thought about yellows. So what happened with that? What I observed is that yellows are slow in execution. They like to please. They want to give. they direct the people how just to do the things. They can do that. This 2 3 days back, I just read a story that there was uh, an senior person in McKinsey who has worked in his whole career to giving the ideas to the multiple companies, and the companies were doing well basis on his ideas. But when he was given the responsibility of a US MNC company, so in his tenure of 1.5 year, that company loses the market cap significantly, and he was not able to execute his own ideas. That he was good is giving the ideas and directing the people, but when it comes to run a company, so he was not able to do that. So that way, that the yellows are basically, they can guide the people, they can talk, and they can, but when it comes to execution, they might lack that competency. So this is the thought about yellows.
Right, right, rightly said. They are the public pleasers and they are more into talking and just having fun. They are the fun loving. That is how their energy gets distracted. They are unable to focus. And it has been rightly pointed out now about the reds and blues, how they lead because they are goal oriented, and yellow and greens are relationship oriented. So, yes, good example, Anilji. Thank you so much. Anyone
Yes.
else? It's 8:11 now. Anybody else wants to share anything, or shall we call it a day?
So I don't want to share anything particularly, but I like this chapter in a way that it covered the loopholes and the negative traits of all the personalities. And I feel the overall book has a good impact that when we now look at people, we we might see them in some colors, and we might able to identify their behaviors, and that's why maybe even be able to accept and deal with them better. So that's what I'm liking about this book. It's quite interesting that way. And even today's chapter, like earlier, it covered all the positive qualities and personality traits and all, and today it covered how, like, even the what we can say, the lesser or the qualities that needs to be worked upon. So, like, even identifying our own personality, we know that, okay, I need to be careful or I need to work upon this thing, like, and even if to our loved ones. So, I like that part.
Yes, I agree with this. When we are reading this book now, so normally we work with the many people around in our office, in family, we see. So when we are reading, so we just now comparing these traits and qualities with those people, how just that he, whether he falls in the red category, yellow category, or blue category. So now it is happening. Now the thoughts are the every person we works around us, so that we are comparing with these qualities and traits.
Right. And it's easy also. See, only four categories are there. Otherwise,
Yes.
if you see in zodiac signs 12 personalities, similarly numbers, so many types of personalities were there and difficult to relate. But it is so easy, na? Four colors. And easily we can differentiate the contrast, and the traits are so significant. Author has very beautifully pointed out each and everything.
And
Yes,
Right.
this we can
good
bring
morning to
the
all.
best from others. This can help in bringing the best from others also. Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, good
Yes.
morning to all. Pranvi here. Um, yeah, actually, in my house, I have realized that I have got two beautiful green personalities. That is my son and my husband. Uh, Really, I mean, what are the qualities are given? They are almost like 95 to 98% matched. But then, if you see, I mean, keenly, if you observe them, they don't have much hustle and bustle in their life. And then coming to the decision part, they do actually, they say that they don't take decisions and all, but then their frequency will always work in a safe, secured,
and a peaceful vibe in them. So they may not do the tasks like multitasking and all that, but then when you come to the decision part, they have a very good clarity than a person who is doing the other works as well. So as we know, like, we need to cherish the other part of the green personalities as well. So that's a positive thing I have seen in them. So, and yes, obviously yellows and all, when you are in a good mood and when you are in a happy mood, it's better to approach them and you can easily blend with them. But then if you are in a kind of sad mood and all, it's better to not approach them and be with greens as much as possible. So that's the thing I have taken from this reading. Thank you all.
Rightly pointed out, Pranavi, greens are very cautious, and that is how you said, na, they know, they are very clear because they prefer security, they prefer stability, and
Yes.
they are clear with that.
Yeah,
Yes.
the best example is both of my kids, they stay away from my place. And whenever I miss them, I just give a call and message and all that. But my husband specially remembers these kids on Fridays only, because on Fridays they may go out and they may lead to any danger. So
Correct.
on Fridays, he will make sure that he's messaging with them, he's calling with them, and he would ask the location also, so that, if they get, missed out or something like that, at least his current location would be helping to them. So he's cautious in that way than loving and all. He's very lazy to be in contact with them the all 5 days, but then Fridays, so he'll be very cautious. And the opposite is with me, because I'm a yellow kind of person. I wanted to interact, forgetting about either it's Friday or Thursday. So yeah, but then blend of the personalities is always a good match.
Yes.
So
And maybe
yeah.
he's easy on the other days because he knows that you are there, you're following up and you know it all.
Yeah,
So he's
maybe.
left it to you.
Maybe.
No, I think, see, my daughter is a green person, and I think that she is the only one. We all think that most sensible, and like, she's very caring. She understands other person's thoughts before we speak. She knows everything, and she is so calm. She's so easygoing, and she makes the atmosphere very relaxing. But we have different energies. But when she is there, na, she says, "Okay, relax. Why to hurry? What is there to?" But then she knows. I don't know how she knows everything. She's so calm, so stable, so sincere, and everyone likes her also. The people, her teachers call her a grandma because she's so sensible. She's understands, seriously, she's a different person, different from all of us, and we have different energies. I think all the four colors are present in my house, but this green person na, they are very understanding. And as you said, Pranavi, your husband calls on only on Friday because he understands that it is waste of time. Why to disturb the kids on other days? So it is, I think, their good sense of understanding others and how to maintain relationship.
Yes, yes.
This is their understanding. Yeah, it's good quality, very good quality, which other colors don't have. I think that
Yeah,
is the
and
best thing.
they never take hasty decisions to invest anything, nor to socialize with the people, because they are very much cautious. Anyone may disturb their planning or anything as such. And I am like a total social butterfly. I would be like, you should know how to handle all that. But now I have realized that it is their personality and there is no choice. We need to accept them. Otherwise, they would feel anxious. So it's again, we are harming their health and their
Yes.
frequency also. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Correct, but it's fun to be having different color tones now with different people. It's
Yes,
always great.
yes, yes.
One color, no, it will just give a monotone and it will become boring. The atmosphere will become boring. Whoever it is, even if yellows are there, it will be full of energy, distraction, and everyone would be in their own zone. But when the mixture is there, it is a harmony. It's beautiful, like a rainbow.
Yes,
Yeah,
and we can,
same here. I
in
agree.
terms of children also, depending upon their personalities, we can plan their future also. So never I
Right.
can give an entrepreneurship to my son. It's better let he get into a job where he has certain protocols to work on and someone to guide, and let the investment or whatever it should be in the form of savings, because it has to be used under emergency. That's it. So I'm not supposed to have any other creative expectations on him as such. In fact, it's a grounded thing and it's also a safety thing. But then as per the child, we need to plan also. So, yeah.
Yeah, this reminds me, Pranavi. Actually, my daughter is in her fourth year of MBBS, and I don't know how we decided because she was she's very caring, and we thought that this is the best thing she can do because she loves other and she helps and she has some touch, that magical touch in her hands. Whoever she touch or whoever she talks to, they get heals. Naturally it happened. So I don't know how this aligned with her that automatically she got into MBBS, and she's a very loving kid over there. All the teachers also like the way she handles the patients. So yeah, it happened, and that nature suits to that profession, I believe.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so it has been a long discussion. Anybody else? But it was good reading today, na? Yellow and green, two different traits.
Yes.
They haven't covered red or what? Like, I'm just
Read
curious.
yesterday finished read.
Acha, I missed. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
This was the same chapter. Yeah. I
yes.
remember. Yeah.
Uh,
Actually, I missed many days in this book now, so I'm not really getting the structure of it as
but
such. I'm
Mansi, you
thinking,
are on the right moment here because now you are reading about how to adapt and where you are also knowing
no,
what
I'm
personality.
enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, and I'm understanding. It's not like I'm not, but I'm saying like because I've lost the complete flow of the book as such, I get a
Yes.
little this thing confused at times.
Mm. Okay, so shall we call it a day? It's 8:21
Yeah.
now.
And
Yes.
happy weekend, everyone.
Happy weekend. Enjoy your day.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Anjali.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Happy
Anjali.
weekend.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
Anjali, you
you.
hosted very well and you just managed it all so well. Thank you so much for
Thank
that.
you. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
very
Anjali.
true.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Rajesh, for arranging it all. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you,
you.
everyone. Thank you, Anjali. Thank you, Mansi, for holding it and continuing the show.
Rajesh,
Yes.
Hope
you
I'm
can just
audible.
show the camera around now. Show the Ooty or show us Ooty.
Yeah.
Actually, he's traveling to Ooty or what? Okay, I did not know
He's
where
in
he was.
Ooty.
I
Okay.
want.
You have gone with
I will.
family or office?
With the fam. No. With family. I
Oh,
have to change
wow.
the
It
camera
was a
to this
sudden
one.
plan.
Just very sudden plan. One day before we have changed.
Wow. That's awesome.
Wonderful.
Enjoy.
So enjoy
It's
your
good that
vacation trip.
you are attending it in your vacation is a great thing.
Wherever I go, but my heart is
Not
here.
good for you though, or your family.
No.
I hope they are
Wherever
not
I go.
getting irritated with it.
No. They know what is. That's how I decide.
And nice that you worked on the green personalities in a serene area. So nice that it's being
Yeah.
aligned with your this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Chalo.
Good. I'm so happy. Thank you everyone for joining, and let's continue coming Monday. And I think
All right.
we'll be able to complete the book coming week.
Yeah,
It
and
will
I
take another
think then Deepa is not there now, but then after this book, then Deepa will also take her happiness project. No? So we'll do that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Mansi, please share that.
I'll share the
summary
summaries with you. I think I've got decent this thing. I have not lost anything. It seems that way. But I'll share it to you personally, Rajesh. Then you check and you share on the group as you want. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
You too, dear.
Happy weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you all on Monday. Bye.